Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I know the setup is a little weird. By the way, hi. So this, sorry for all that, this is just snacks, guys. Like, sometimes I need my snacks in order to film. But in front of you now is my entire eyeshadow palette collection. And we're gonna be going through it together, so I'm just gonna tilt down a little bit so you can see. Or, I mean, I could try to film like this, but it's a little weird. I mean, I'll definitely try to just pick up as I go, but I'm not sure what to start with first. I guess I should start with the brand that started it all for my makeup. Like, my whole makeup aesthetic, I guess. Trying to pick a good one that's not so problematic. There we go. So it would be Morphe. I know Morphe isn't probably the best formula in terms of like in terms of just formula in general. I know like people say their makeup has improved, but I haven't been exactly unhappy with any of the palettes that I've purchased. But I guess let's just get started. This is the Aura Escape palette. I definitely like the layout of the color story and how it is. Like, I know people don't usually like the big palettes, but this boosts my creativity. This gives me shades that, like, sometimes I wouldn't even think I needed, but then I play with them and I'm just like, oh. But yeah, like, and I will say that a lot of the palettes in my collection are unused. Like, this one is barely even touched. Like, I've maybe swatched a couple of shades here and there when I first got it, but I definitely have not played with this, and I really want to. Okay. And I'm not gonna swatch any of these palettes, because if I did, we would be here for years. Literal years. So yeah, let's not do that. Alright, so next up is the 35L Ultra Ultra Lavender? Yeah, Ultra Lavender. I almost said ultraviolet. But, this one, I forgot to say the name. I mean, I know I said the Aura Escape palette, but it would be the 35Y Aura Escape palette. They always have, like, numbers before the, actual palette name. Like 35L or 35Y. My pan that palette is the 35V Stunning Vibes palette, so it correlates. But anyways, this is the Ultra Lavender palette, and this is quite literally my neutral color story. Purple is a neutral for me, so I count this as a neutral palette. Like, any shade in here is wearable to me as a neutral. And I absolutely love it for that. Like, I haven't worn it very much. I've maybe dabbled in it a couple of times, but a lot of the shades are very much unused. And then next up is, I know not everybody likes her, but I have the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette by Morphe. And that is what she looks like. And I definitely want to play with this, because this is basically unused, and this is very beautiful. It's very up my street. I definitely can get a lot of creative looks out of this, and it's just very, very pretty. Like, I know in my Odin's Eye video, I said I didn't have a lot of matte yellow shades in my collection. This is one of the very few. Like, I don't have a lot of very matte primary colors like oranges. Like, I like that there are a lot of variety in this. And you definitely have your neutrals that you can definitely be safe with. And for me, neutrals are safe for work, but, and I mean, like, this could technically be considered neutral for me. Like, purple and sometimes, like, certain shades of pink are considered neutrals for me. Even certain shades of orange could be considered neutral shades for me. So, yeah, I like to, you know, see what I can come up with. Next up is my Morphe X Meredith Duxbury palette, and I follow her on Instagram, and I love the looks that, like, makeup wise that she does. I know she's a model, and, you know, some of her, like, some of her photos can be a little risque, let's just say. Like, how far can you go before going totally naked? Is kind of what she's given, but, like, I'm not here to judge. This is a judgment-free zone. But I like her nonetheless. But this is the palette. Probably shouldn't. Well, I mean, I guess if I show the right angle, you can see the art that's on my walls right there. Yeah, 2 of them are diamond, 3 of them are diamond paints, and 2 of them I sketched myself. But, anyways, back to the palette. Sorry for the ramble. But, this is just, like, I mean, I haven't gotten to play around with this very much, and I really want to. Like I said, most of my palettes are unused, but I feel like I could get a lot of use out of this palette. Like, I really, really like this palette. Just because you have your vibrant shades, but you also have your neutrals, so you can just play around. Alright. Next up is my Morphe X Abby Roberts palette. And I have no idea who she is. Like, some of the collaborations that I got, I mainly got because of the color story, not mainly necessarily because of the person. Because some of these I actually got either online or I got them in person. Yeah, that is the color story for that one. It's very nice. I like this very, lime green. A lot of these are very, very nice. And, I will just say, like, out of all these 5 palettes, like, I will say out of all the palettes that I have, I will go over what I got in subscription boxes and what I've purchased myself. Whether it be in person or online. It doesn't matter, I purchased it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna count it as that category. But I'll definitely go over what is, like, what came in a subscription box and what didn't. Alright. Next up is my Disney X Morphe Mickey and Friends Truth Be Bold palette. And I just saw this and just thought, what a cute palette. You know what I mean? This is cute. And I have used this a couple of times and I really like the quality of it. It's just, you know, it's a really fun play around palette. And like the shades are all, you know, like they work fine. They're not, you know, like as long as you work with them and, you know, you're patient, they're not patchy. But I really like that one. And out of all the Morphe palettes, this is the one I hate the most, or this is the one I hate, basically. Like, love the quality of this palette, but I hate the freaking creator that they're collaborating with. I fucking hate James Charles. I really do. I fucking hate James Charles. Like... Like, do I really need to explain why I hate him? No, you can deduce that for yourself, because I don't know if YouTube likes me saying the word that he is. But, let's just use the safe word for it. Child predator. This man is a child predator. I say what I say and I say what I mean and I mean it. But, rant over on that, but this is the palette itself. I really do like the layout of the color story. And I know it's just a rainbow palette, but there's so much you can do with this. And I did have to tape the shades on the thing because this was back when Morphe didn't have their shades on their actual palettes. And if I do find it for a good price, even though it is discontinued, I might get the 39S Such a Gem palette, and it's the same layout as this, but it's all pinks and purples, and I really, really want that. I really, really want that. But I really like this. Like, there are certain shades that are kind of like a little bit hard to work with. Like, I was kind of disappointed in this light blue because possibly maybe I was using it wrong. Maybe you're, you know, really supposed to use your fingers on some of these shimmers because it just didn't show up when I used a brush as much. Like, it wasn't as opaque. So maybe, who knows, maybe I'm just using it wrong. But I just, like, I really do like the palette as a whole. And I definitely can see myself getting a lot of use on this. So, yeah, I'll definitely play with this in the future. But let me know what you guys want to see. Like, this is just the Morphe section. And who knows, like, if a Morphe palette on Poshmark catches my eye, I might get it. Like I said, I really want the 39S Such a Gem palette. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. But that is it for Morphe. I feel like I want to go into the Beauty Bay palettes next. And I'll start out with the palette that I have. Well, I mean, I have used some of these Beauty Bay palettes on their own, but this is the first one that I've filmed with. This is my Celestial Charms palette. And this was the first palette that I used like on my YouTube channel due to a subscriber suggesting it in my comments. I don't know if she subscribes, because like she left a comment in my on one of my YouTube videos saying use this palette, and I was just like, sure, girly. But it did take a long time for me to film, but that is only because work has been so busy even in the wintertime. But like, this is a very stunning palette, and I will play with this more in the future. I definitely want to use this shade more all over the lid because it's so pretty, and I definitely want to do a look based on these, and maybe like throw this in a look one of these days, because the person that commented for me to use this palette did want me to use this shade, and I will use it one of these times, either this or this shade. Like, both of them kind of look like a gold, but this is more of an orange, but I definitely want to incorporate more looks with this, so don't worry, I will be playing around more with this palette in the future. Alright, next up is my Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette. And I wanted the original Bright palette, but unfortunately it was sold out when I bought this. I bought a lot of these in a bundle, like a really big bundle. And all of these are matte, but they basically, like, I've used this a couple of times, like, I mean, oh, sorry, I'm getting the hiccups, but, I mainly used this for the red and the blue, because I did a red, white, and blue look for the 4th of July, and I really like this palette for that. Like, this is such a good play around palette, and then you just whack a random shimmer on the lid and you're good to go. Like, this is a good palette for that. I love this, and I'll definitely play around more with this in the future, but definitely let me know. I feel like I don't want to go into this palette yet because that one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. So next up, we've got the Beauty Bay Earthy. And this is a really big out my comfort zone palette because as I may have mentioned on my channel, I don't know how to feel about greens, but I've slowly been playing a little bit with the shimmers a little bit in this palette and found out that there's a lot that I can work with. But definitely with the mattes, I definitely need to play with this more, but it's just, like, I feel like this is a lot of green for me. But I definitely do not want to declutter this because I want to play with this. Definitely looks very, very nice. I did not get the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette at all. Like, there's a lot of Beauty Bay palettes that I missed out on, and I would love for them to be in my collection. Like, I would love the Age of Opulence palette, the Book of Magic palette. That's the one I've always wanted. But that and oh, what was it? There was another one that I was like, oh yeah, the Reckless Romance palette. I wanted those 3 palettes so bad, and I never got them, which sucks. But next up, I kind of gotta shift my legs around sometimes because my legs will go numb. Heh, ain't that nice? But next up is my Beauty Bay Berries palette. And all of these are the 42 pan palettes, like the bigger palettes, because I wanted more of a variety. But as you can see, this is pink. But I've grown, ever since I was like in high school, I kind of loved pink eyeshadows. So I mean, like, this is just something that I can play around with. Like, even if it's Valentine's Day, I can play with it year round. I don't care. I'll play with any color year round. But this is just so pretty. Like, all the different shades of pink that you can put on your eyes, especially shimmers. Can't wait. Next up is my Beauty Bay Rich palette. And that is what that looks like. And I love the very, like, burgundy, very deep tones in here, because I can, like, this is my smoky eye palette. This is very much my comfort smoky eye palette. Because any way I go with this, I can create a beautiful smoky eye. Any way I go with it. And I think that's the beauty of it, really. So yeah, I'll definitely get a lot more use on this. But, like, a lot of the shades don't look used, but mainly because, like, I have been focusing more on my Pan That palette, so getting to play with my eyeshadow palettes has kind of been few and far in between. So if you guys have any, I know I keep saying it, but if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I really like to, like, play off of your guys' ideas, but also, like, you know, when I do shop my stashes, I'll just pick a random palette, you know what I mean? I'll just play with it. So, yeah. Next up, I've got my Beauty Bay Nude palette. And I mainly, like, when I got the bundles, when I got the bundle of all, I think it was either a bundle of 6 or a bundle of 8. I think it was a bundle of 8, but it was for a really good price. But I just figured I need more neutral palettes in my life, and I feel like these are really good neutral shades. And, like, I've definitely gotten use on a couple of shades in this. And I definitely feel like I could get more. But next up is my Beauty Bay Neutrals palette. And that is what that looks like. This is my, this is like the kind of tones of neutrals that I like to go for. This is like not too cool, not too warm, but just right. It's the Goldilocks palette for me. But I definitely feel like it definitely needs more love, so I definitely will be playing more around with this in the future. Mainly I could use it for like work looks, everything like that. Alright. Oh, sorry. Like, when I'm filming this, it's like kind of, I don't want to say it's late, because I don't think it is, but it's definitely getting there. Sorry, I need to literally stretch out my legs because, ow! But this is my Beauty Bay Fiery palette, Fiery 2.0. I know you're probably thinking, ew, Josie, get your skinny legs out of the fucking frame. Okay, jeez. Okay. But so trying to move things around. But this is the Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 palette. And this is definitely wow. And there's definitely a lot of shades that I really want to play with, especially these. Oh wow, sorry. Especially these yellows. Like, there's a lot that I want to play with in this. Like, it just looks so nice. And last but certainly not least for the Beauty Bay palettes is my Beauty Bay Midnight palette. And I feel like this is as close to the Book of Magic as I'm going to get. I hate to say. It is missing a lot of shades from it, but overall this is a really, really nice palette. I love this palette. Like, this is probably my favorite palette out of all of them, and I've used this one the most. Alright. Not sure. Oh wait, I should probably go with like categories that are the largest, I guess. So next up is going to be my Cosmic Brushes palettes. So first up, we've got the Delights palette, which that is what that looks like. It's completely untouched, and I love this. Like, I know you can't really say, oh, I love this palette when you haven't used it, but like, this is so pretty. Like, this is the palette that I always wanted from Cosmic Brushes, and now I have it. Like, this is definitely like a dream palette of mine, and I definitely will play around with this. Like, any palette that I play around with, I will do in-depth swatches of, and like, we'll just see. But I love that Cosmic Brushes has a lot of duochromes and multichromes in their palettes. That's mainly why I get them. I've been kind of on a multi-chrome, duochrome kick. I don't want to say it's a phase because it's not. They're just so pretty. And I might go into my single shadows in a different video, per se, just because, well, I have single shadows in an eyeshadow palette, but in a way, I just don't know if I should say the shades, but, next up is the Cool Trolls palette. And this was my first purchase from Beauty Bay. Or not, oh my gosh. Speak actual fucking sense, Josie, my gosh. But, this is the first, purchase that I made off of Cosmic Brushes. And I really, really like this palette. Like, I really want to play with this, because this seems like a very, like, up my alley kind of, color story, because, like, these are the kind of tones that I love. I love cool tones, if you haven't noticed. But I have swatched all of the shimmers in here, and it's, oh, chef's kiss. Next up is my Winter Wonderland palette, and it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. I definitely want to play around with this, because this is, if this isn't a winter color story, I don't know what is, and it's fucking beautiful. Next up are my two newest palettes. First one is going to be the Death Tarot palette. And that is what that looks like. I definitely want to play around with this. I know I keep saying this, but like, my Cosmic Brushes palettes are definitely ones that I want to play with the most. Like, as soon as I saw swatches for this palette, I immediately put it in the basket and freaking bought it. Like, that is how, like, I saw teasers for this and I was just like, huh? And just the outer packaging, the art, like, I'm a witch, so, and or pagan, so, like, literally, tarot cards, like, that is so rare to see in cosmetics, like, anything witch related, and I love it. Like, actual pagan related, like, please do more. Same with this one. This is the Starlight Society palette. And this is basically a sun and moon palette. Let's just say that. Like, the symbol for the sun and moon has always been a part of my life. And I feel like this just encapsulates that. Like, this is so beautiful. And I want to play around with this. Like, if you guys want me to play around with this, please let me know. Alright, so we got through the Cosmic Brushes palettes. So next up, and I know not a lot of people like this person. I know. But I can't really help but like his products. I hate to say. Like, well, I guess I don't hate to say it, because, like, I'm allowed to have my opinion, and I'm allowed to like products that, you know, maybe not everybody else likes. But first up is my Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star. I know, like I said, not a lot of people like him, but I don't know, like, even though, like, somewhat, like, yes, has he probably bullied people online? Maybe. But I can't argue that the quality of these freaking makeup products aren't good. I can't argue. Like, I've used, like, this is my favorite palette from him, and, like, I've been wanting this palette for years, and in my mystery box unboxing from Jeffree Star that I bought the mystery box, so this is technically a purchase palette, but I just didn't have a choice in what palette that I received. But this palette is the one that I always wanted from his brand when I first heard about it. Like, this, this, and I think, like, Blue Blood, I also really want that one. And, like, there's a lot of Jeffree Star palettes that I really want, but it just depends on if they are discontinued or not. Because the main two palettes that I mainly want, like, I might pick up his Night Owl palette, but the main ones that I really want to get are his Pink Religion palette and the Cotton Candy Queen palette. Those are the main ones that I want. But I really do love this palette. It's so pretty. And you can just feel the quality of this you know, like, it's a hefty girl. She's a hefty girl. But anyways, next up is my cremated palette, and I kind of do wish that they would have picked maybe better packaging, but it's still stunning. Like, I like the grayscale look and how it's fading into dust to, like, ashes. It's like, it's the cremated palette. It's supposed to be funeral based, so, like, I mean, if we're not comfortable talking about death, then we really shouldn't be a society, should we? Like, we need to be able to talk about hard topics, like death, like depression, like mental illness. Because, you know, for all the religious people out there, mental illness is not just people affected by demons. Like, sorry for that rant, I just, like, I have heard so much of that, like, from, one, my personal life, and two, people online, and it's just like, can y'all just do some research? Please? But, yep, this is the cremated palette, and, sorry, there was a flake of glitter in there, and I thought, like, it almost looked like there was pan in that shade. No, there isn't. I have used this, the shade Diamond Ashes a couple of times, but this is a kind of another out of my comfort zone palettes, because I really don't use a lot of grays or silvers or blacks. I mean, I do use black, yes, but, like, do I use a lot of these tones as a main look? No. Like, I kind of want to, though, because I kind of want to explore the more, like, goth, grungy side a little bit. So, yeah, just let me know if you want me to play around with this palette. Yep. It's getting time to freaking stretch out my legs, and I'm gonna scooch palettes along just so I can do that. Because this is a little bit more comfortable for me. But next up is my Jawbreaker palette. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, I really, really wanted this palette when it first launched, but I'm not sure if I got it in an actual, like, mystery box. I'm not sure, but, like, I know when I got this, oh no, wait, like, I think I had gotten this on sale, that's what it was, okay, but I really like this palette because of, like, how much you can just do with this. This is so fun. Like, this is such a fun palette that, like, I will get more use on it, but, let me know if you guys want any sort of looks off of this. Like, I love this palette. And then last up for my Jeffree Star palettes is the, Bloodlust palette. And the packaging. The fucking packaging. And also the packaging for the Jawbreaker, like, you don't get packaging like this with, like, other brands, you know what I mean? Like, he really goes above and beyond with his packaging. Like, say what you want about the man, but he does. But that is the, Bloodlust palette. And this is so beautiful. Like, there's so much that I really want to do with this palette, and yeah, it's just that this is just so pretty, and let me know if you guys want to see this in an upcoming video, please. I know I keep saying it, but just, you know, let me know what palette you guys want to see, and I will do it. It might take me some time, but I'll do it. I just, like, I'll try to film when I have time to film, you know what I mean? like, at this point, it's not really a set schedule of filming. I'll film either after work, which is what I'm doing now, or, I can't really do it on my days off just because right now, I kind of go up to my ex's house to see Bear, so, filming has been canceled on my days off, but I will try to film on my, at the end of my morning shifts or before I go to work, for a night shift. So we'll see. I mainly like the idea of, doing it more when I get off of work in the mornings. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. But a lot of the palettes, I mean, I don't have, like, a lot of too terribly a lot of categories. Like, because I have, like, a couple of palettes from one brand, a couple of palettes from another brand, but not, like, a clustered amount like I did with those. So I guess I'll just start grabbing random ones. So this is my Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette, and I want to get more from this brand, because it's Manny MUA's brand, and I feel like this is just beautiful formula. This is like the shimmers in this palette make this a beautiful palette. And the mattes just make it even more buttery and smooth. And, I definitely want to try more color stories of his just because these intrigue me. Like, the formula definitely, like, caught my eye first thing, so, like, in terms of, like, eyeshadow palettes that I want to try from brands, like, I want to try more from Lunar Beauty, but I also want to try Nomad Cosmetics. So, if I buy a few Nomad Cosmetic palettes, would you guys want to see that? Well, I mean, I'm gonna buy it regardless, because there are several that I want, but I'm just gonna be, like, patient and just buy them one at a time, you know, just so I can, you know, manage it that way. And also, Ensley Rain Cosmetics. I want to try Ensley Rain. I really do. But, sorry for the rant. Again. Sometimes I just shift my legs whenever they feel comfortable and uncomfortable. But, next up is from Ciate London, and this was from a, oh, I should say, this is actually from a subscription box. Yeah, you would be surprised. I actually got this, from BoxyCharm before BoxyCharm went to shit, in my opinion. Because immediately as soon as Ipsy bought BoxyCharm, it just, well, actually, as soon as Joe left, it was completely downhill. And, yeah, with Ipsy taking over that, it just went completely just trash. And I will never get the Ipsy, subscription for as long as I live, so... Like, I know that's not, like, you know, I mean, like, there's just not a subscription box that I've seen that I want to get. You know what I mean? But this is another, subscription box palette. But this is the Royal Edition from Ciate London. And it's not a bad palette, like, by any means. But, like, is this a palette that I don't really have very much, like, attachment to? No. But I'm gonna try to get use on it regardless, because it is in my collection, and there are certain shades in here that really, really catch my eye, and that's why I haven't decluttered it yet. So yeah, I just want to play around, see how it goes. Next up is my ColourPop Smoke and Roses palette. This is new to my collection. Like, some makeup palettes in my collection are old, some are new. But that is what that looks like, and this is a very nice neutral color story for me. Like, this is definitely, like, up my street in terms of tones of neutral. And before you say, oh, pink isn't a neutral color. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. People wear blue eyeshadow and they consider that a neutral color, so yeah. What color is really considered neutral anymore, really? 'Cause, like, I feel like with certain shades of every color, you can make a neutral, you know, like, wearable color for that said shade. So it works. But next up is, and unfortunately this brand is discontinued. It's BH Cosmetics, and honestly, I might get a few palettes of theirs off of Poshmark, because I missed out on getting the Sweet Shop palettes, and I really, really want those. So I'm definitely gonna buy them. Like, it's in my trajectory to buy, but this is the BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo palette. And that is what that looks like. Definitely very colorful, and definitely something that, like, you kind of gotta think of how to use it in a way. Like, not all shades are gonna blend together like you probably want it to, but at the same time, like, you can create really, really cool looks with this. So I'll definitely be playing with this in the future. I know, like, you can't technically get discontinued palettes anymore, but this is my channel. Like, I'm gonna play with a palette whether it's discontinued or not. And next up is the Mimosa palette. And this one is definitely well loved. Like, I've definitely used a couple of shades in my looks and whatnot, but I haven't used every shade. I definitely want to wear this more. Like, I was almost thinking that after I pan my Pan That palette, that this might be next Pan That palette. Maybe, but who knows, we'll see. But next up, we've got my Ace Beauté Paradise Fallen palette. And that is what that looks like. Very, very pretty. But yeah, definitely very nice. And this one I actually got on a subscription box. I think it was BoxyCharm. I think. It was either BoxyCharm or Chic Beauty. I definitely remember getting it from one of those, but this is probably one of my favorite palettes from Ace Beauté. Like, the purple tones, it's just, oh, so good. And then another one that's really, really good is the Ace Beauté Violet Sage palette. And I have used this to create my Halloween look a couple of years back. And I really, really love this palette. This is such a very nice, versatile palette. and I can definitely see myself getting a lot more use on it. It's like, I love my Ace Beauté palettes, and I will never get rid of them unless you pry them from my cold hands. As with any palette and or makeup product that I have, if I'm not decluttering it, you'd have to freaking pry it from my cold dead hands. Alright. But next up, sorry I keep going on little rants, that's just how I am. You know, autism and whatnot. Well, I guess I should explain that. It's a light form of autism. Like, it's more of a high-functioning autism, if that makes sense. Like, I do experience a lot of symptoms, but I do try to keep it under wraps and or, like, hidden from most people. There's definitely a lot of stimming involved, basically. You know, just to feel normal, but anyway, rant over. Next up is my Ace Beauté Paletopoly palette, and I did gift a second one of these to my niece, and I know I got this off the Chic Beauty box, but this is quite a unique color story, actually. Like, I actually really like this palette, and I want to get more into using stuff like this. Like, I definitely didn't want to play the game that was attached to this palette, but I just want to play around with the palette itself. Like, I just feel like it's really pretty in that sense, you know what I mean? Next up is my Only Glamlight palette, which I want to get more from this brand as well, because I did see that they have a Lord of the Rings palette, a Middle-earth palette, and I really want to get it. Would you guys fault me for that? But that's what that looks like. I love this. Like, if I want to pull for pastels, this is what I would go for, and I want to do more looks with this. Like, I definitely feel like there's a lot of variety that I could work with, as well as, like, you know, just whatever I can work with. Next up, and, this was from a subscription box. I think it was Chic Beauty? I think it was Chic Beauty. But the mirror is broken on this, but that's what that looks like. I mean, I feel like I could get a lot of use on this since it is a neutral palette, but if I were to declutter it, I probably wouldn't be mad. Does that make sense? Like, in a way, it's almost to say I don't feel attached to this palette, but I want to use it because it's in my collection. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, I feel like it's still a usable makeup, you know, a makeup palette, so, I mean, I don't want it to go to waste. So, who knows, maybe one of these days, or one of these years, it'll be a Pan That palette. Because I feel like the quality is good. It's just, like, is it boring? Is it, you know, not so me? Sure, but could I get away with it? Yeah. Alright, next up is, a neutral palette that I got from the Ulta Beauty collection. It's called the Everyday Faves palette. And that is what that looks like. I feel like this also could be a work-appropriate Pan That palette along with the Cab Cosmetics palette. Like, these are really nice tones. I really like this. Alright, next up is, from Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Moment palette. And I did get this off of BoxyCharm. And that's what that looks like. Oh yeah, I think I got the Violet Sage palette and the Paradise Fallen palette off of BoxyCharm. I do remember that now. Sorry about that. It's like sticking in my memory which is a subscription box and which subscription box. But that is the Moment palette. It's very pretty, and I definitely need to use this because I feel like this is a very everyday palette for me. Next up is my Transluce Cosmetics Midnight de Seos palette. And I really like that this is from a Latina, like, creator, basically. Like, I think Transluce is Becky G's brand, possibly? But this is very pretty, though. I really, really like the shades in this, because I feel like this is a perfect date night palette. And I like, this palette because you can remove the mirror, which is really cool. And then I've got another Transluce palette. It's the La Flora de Mexico palette. And this is also one that you can remove the mirror with. And that is what that looks like. And this is very pretty. Like, I may not like greens, but I like these sicky greens, you know what I mean? This is like my kind of neutral green color story palette, you know, kind of thing. So I will be getting use on this, and I love, like, the packaging on these are just so pretty. It's just so pretty. Alright. Next up is my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. Jeez, that came out in a slur. But this is my favorite palette in my collection. Hands down. Like, this is so pretty, and I've used this on so many on just my birthday mainly. Like, I mean, like, have I used it elsewhere? Yes, but it's just like, this is my favorite palette. I love this. This palette literally makes me feel confident, sexy. It's that girl. This is a perfect everyday palette, but plus a very nice play around palette, and I love that for it. And then to continue on with the Huda Beauty palettes, I only have two, but this is the Icy Nude palette. And this is lovely. Like, I haven't used it yet, but I can already tell I'm going to love this extremely well. And the shade Iced Out right here looks like white in the pan, but it has a very pink and blue shimmery reflect, and I really like that. Like, these shades just look so pretty, and I can't wait to use it. I bought this with my own money, by the way. And this one I got off of BoxyCharm before BoxyCharm went to shit. This was literally like such a surprise to get in my BoxyCharm because I picked it. And I was just like, please let me get it, please let me get it, please let me get it. And when I fucking got it, I was just like, you know what I mean? But next up, we've got another Dominique Cosmetics palette. This is the Unconditional palette. And that is what that looks like. Very, very pretty. This is a very holiday palette for me, and this is a very, like, special occasion palette, but I'll use it for every day. I mean, I don't care. Red and burgundy is a very neutral shade for me. I can pull it off. Alright, next up is my Ace Beauty Flare palette. And I think I got this in the Chic Beauty box, but that's what that looks like. It's very pretty, and I definitely want to get more use on it. Because, like, I feel like I don't have very many cool shades like this, you know what I mean? Well, not cool toned, but like, this just looks cool. Alright. And then next up, I've got a couple from Wander Beauty. First up, we've got the Wanderess Escape palette. And that is what that looks like. Very pretty, and I know I can get a lot of use on this. Like, this is what I mean by work-appropriate palettes. And then I've got the Wander Beauty Sweet Escape palette. And that's what that looks like, and it's very pretty. Crap, I almost dropped it. I love this shade right here. It's very, very pretty. And then next up, we've got the only, like, I did used to have another Violet Voss palette in my collection, but I ended up giving it to, I would say yes, a friend. Like, I gave it to a friend of mine, and it was the, like, I think it was like the sunflower palette from them. Sorry, you guys, I really hate hiccups. Alright, so I'm just gonna film the rest with no lipstick. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it's gonna go. But, next up, I've got my Naked 3 from Urban Decay. And I wanted the original Naked palette, but it sold out on me before I could even get it twice. Yeah, they bought out the freaking re-released Naked palette faster than I could fucking buy it. But I ended up getting the Naked 3. And that is what that looks like. I love this. Like, I love this kind of, like, neutral color story because it's what I can work with. And I know the shades may seem small, but, like, I don't think, like, I've wanted a Naked palette for a very long time. And I really want to get the Naked Cherry palette. If I can find that on a resale site, then I will get it. But for now, it's going to be this. Is my full-size palette. And then I've got two minis. I've got the Naked 3 mini and the Naked 2 mini. That is what the Naked 2 palette looks like. Or no, Naked 3 palette. This is the Naked 3 mini. And then the Naked 2 mini. That's what that looks like. Very nice. I like this because I could just do a simple look and then whack one of my really pretty shimmers all over the lid. Alright. And then next up is my two newest palettes. This is the Merry Christmas palette from Odin's Eye. And that is what that looks like. Very, very pretty. And I do want to play around with this. I already have swatched the shimmers in my video, and I definitely want to play around with this. And then we've got the Christmas Eve palette. And I definitely wanted the original to this, but I'll take what I can get. I love this so much. And I can't wait to play around with it. Oh, it's so nice. Alright. And then next up, I've got a NARS palette. This is the Summer Solstice palette. And that is what that looks like. Very, very nice. Alright, and then next up I've got a glitter palette from LA Girl. And I really want to get some use on this because it, like, even though it's a glitter palette, I know, like, glitter isn't for every day, but this is so pretty. You can't tell me it's not. Alright. And then next up, I've got some eyeshadow toppers from Suva Beauty, or is it SUVA Beauty? Like, let me know below. But that is what that looks like. They all look white in the pan, but they do have, like, all the corresponding colors are what they reflect as. And it's really, really pretty. I've definitely used it in a couple of looks, and I like the way that they turned out. But next up is my single eyeshadows palette. And I did get another single eyeshadow palette that's multi-layered. It's a magnetic palette, or, you know, like, it's supposed to be a, you know, a magnetic palette. So that's what that looks like. I've got Jeffree Star shades over here and Pastel Roses shades over here. And, so with the, Pastel Roses shades, I almost want to put them in the big palette, because I want to get so many more Pastel Roses shades. And I feel like with Jeffree Star shades, I could just fill them up and, you know, get other shades from different brands and fill them up in here for squares. But I got this because of the outer packaging, and I love it. I mean, it's either that or, I mean, I'll probably end up using up the Jeffree Star shades that I have and just filling up all of the space that I have in my magnetic palettes with Pastel Roses shades because I love them so much. Like, at the, please, Pastel Roses, please sponsor me. Like, I would love to receive PR from the Pastel Roses, I really would. Like, any sort of PR I would love to receive, but I know I'm not there yet, so gotta keep my expectations there, you know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta keep my expectations low for now. But first up, or next up, I've got a Natasha Denona mini palette, and this is the Mini Jubilee. I did get this in a BoxyCharm palette, or in a BoxyCharm box. And it's very nice. I mean, I know not a lot of people like Natasha Denona quality, like some don't, a lot do, but I mean, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. And I definitely want to get more use on it. And I got another one from Natasha Denona. It's the Mini Cupid. And I got this in another BoxyCharm box. And I really like this. This is a very much a neutral palette for me. And this is also a good date night palette. And then next up, I've got a Ulta Beauty X WandaVision eyeshadow palette, and I do got a bronzer and highlight palette from the same collaboration, but that is what that looks like. My friend Riley gifted this to me, and I feel like I could easily put this as a Pan That palette if I really wanted to, later, like way down in the future, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could work with these shades and have fun with it. And then next up, I've got my NYX Ultimate Edit mini palette. This is the Mini Brights. And that's what that looks like. you know, definitely it's all matte, but you can definitely work with this and create a really cool look and then put a really, really pretty shimmer all over the lid. And then last up, I've got a Charlotte Tilbury palette. It is the Pillow Talk Dreams Luxury Palette. And that is what that looks like. Very, very pretty. I have used this a lot for like just neutral everyday looks. I did bring this to Minnesota when my grandma died, and this was definitely a good neutral palette to have. But anyways, that is all of the eyeshadow palettes that I have for you today. And like I said, if you want to see anything that I have showed you in a video, like, you know, like a get ready with me, shop my stash, whatever, please let me know. But if I have not told you already in every video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!